I want to know what are your thoughts on thinking in English. People are really interested to know how they can think in English. Like it is a kind of difficult stuff for some persons.
I agreed. I can see eye to eye statement, whatever you have just stated now about thinking English process. Well, I have noticed and I have observed personally as well, there are so many trainers and professional coach who have been suggesting their aspirants and students to start thinking English in order to speak English in a natural and organic way. But the question is how one can think in English. We need to change the old conventional and traditional method of translation. Rather, we should adapt and acquire this modern technique of thinking English. So, first thing I would say, which you can do whenever you are alone, or even you are not alone, start talking with yourself inside your brain. You don't need to utter a single word out of your mouth, but inside your brain, you have to talk. For example, I'm just looking at you, so I can think, wow, this guy is looking handsome. In my brain, the shirt, the white color shirt, which t-shirt which he has wear, it seems to be very beautiful. And yes, the mic which he is using, it's really marvelous. So what I'm doing, though I have just shared with you, but earlier I was just thinking in my mind only. So what I was doing, rather talking to myself inside my brain in my own native language, I do prefer to talk with myself in my brain in English only. That's the first thing we can do.
Good morning and good afternoon, Shiv sir. How are you doing?
Well, very shiny, sunny, chocolatey, and melodious. Good afternoon. I'm fit as a fiddle and doing fantabulous in my life. How about your side? How have you been today?
It's wonderful, great day,
Okay, great.
full of
Yes.
fun and frolic.
Wow, delighted to hear that.
Yep, yep. So, can you kindly introduce yourself to me, to my viewers?
Sure, I would be more than happy to introduce myself. Well, my name is Shiv. I born and raised in India. My native place is Uttarakhand. As far as my professional qualification, I'm done with my, you can say, master in computer education and then master in accounting. I'm working as a government employee in a central government department. And as far as my academic qualification, I'm done with my master in English, master in commerce, and this year I'm pursuing my master in economics. In addition to this, I do teach English as a unofficial English trainer to beginners and intermediate speakers. Moreover, I run my own YouTube channel by the name of English with Teacher Shiv, where I'm uploading spoken English content. At the same time, some one-to-one conversation videos like this, which we are having right now. So that's all from my side.
Okay, that's wonderful. You are doing great things, I can say, because you are a central employee, you are doing your masters in economics and doing YouTube as well, right? So, how about how you're
Yes.
managing it? How consistent you are with these things?
Well, to be very frank with you, let me tell you a very harsh reality of life. Most of the time, we do have that complaint that we don't have time to do multiple things. And in my case, where I believe in this era, nobody has time. But if you have need, then you can find a seed. And necessity is the mother of all inventions, which simply means you need to steal the time from your busy schedule. You have to find time for yourself if you really want to grow and if you really want to explore yourself. So that's how I'm trying to manage with it.
And how, I'm very curious to know, how consistent you are with. Are you giving your day, every day for English, for your masters and the job, or you are weekly person who takes the schedule in a once in a week or twice in a week?
Well, I'm consistent with all this stuff. Beside holidays, I'm going office every single day, and I do take my session on different platforms and my WhatsApp group as well. Then I do practice on the same platform. And yes, as I'm recording my video with you, so in the evening time I will edit. So this is how I'm trying to manage. Yeah,
Okay.
sometimes it's quite hectic. For example, if I would get some specific event, for example, I have to go for any party or somewhere with my family, then it's a bit arduous to get time for all these things. But on a general basis, yes, I am being consistent towards all these activities religiously.
Okay, I find you very assiduous, right? But what are your other hobbies to make yourself happy other than this?
That's a very sophisticated question you have asked me, because to be very frank with you, I don't have any interest in hobbies except English. If I'm just roaming somewhere, I do think about English content. If I'm listening something rather than listening any normal song in music, I do prefer to listen some English podcast. In case of watching videos, I watch videos with English subtitles. And yes, I in my real life, except my family and with my colleague in my office, I do speak English with everyone. So most of the time I spend my time on virtual, which, as you can see, there are so many applications available in this era where you can practice with some co-learners. So you can say English is the only habit and interest I have in my life, nothing else.
Okay, you made it your life, I guess, right?
Exactly, you hit nail on the head.
Yep. Okay, so you are doing everything. Everything means the major parts of chunk of your life in English, like you are talking, you're listening, everything. It's surrounded by English communication and English skill. So I want to know what are your thoughts on thinking in English? People are really interested to know how they can think in English. Like it is a kind of difficult stuff for some persons.
I agree. I can see eye to eye statement, whatever you have just stated now about thinking English process. Well, I have noticed and I have observed personally as well, there are so many trainers and professional coach who have been suggesting their aspirants and students to start thinking English in order to speak English in a natural and organic way. But the question is how one can think in English. We need to change the old conventional and traditional method of translation. Rather, we should adapt and acquire this modern technique of thinking English. So, first thing I would say, which you can do whenever you are alone, or even you are not alone, start talking with yourself inside your brain. You don't need to utter a single word out of your mouth, but inside your brain, you have to talk. For example, I'm just looking at you, so I can think, wow, this guy is looking handsome. In my brain, the shirt, the white color shirt, which t-shirt which he has wear, it seems to be very beautiful. And yes, the mic which he is using, it's really marvelous. So what I'm doing, though I have just shared with you, but earlier I was just thinking in my mind only. So what I was doing, rather talking to myself inside my brain in my own native language, I do prefer to talk with myself in my brain in English only. That's the first thing we can do. Now, second thing is there are so many exercises that one can go for to develop a habit of thinking English. For example, mirror practice. Number two, solo talk. Number three, story narration. Number four, hypothetical situation explanation. And last but not least, and very effective, picture description. There are so many paintings at your home, banners, poster in the market, or if you don't have anything, you can download it from Google and start describing it. This is the best technique which I found to think in English. All right. Now, third thing, what you have to do is whenever you just start your day until you end your day, one can go for the whole day narration. Whatever he has done since morning till night, he has to narrate his whole day in English only, right? That's the third thing. Now, fourth thing,
Mhm.
whatever he does, whatever, make sure that the time when he is doing, he's talking inside his brain in English. If I'm
English.
cooking, yeah, if I'm cooking in the kitchen, whatever I'm cooking, I could talk to myself, right? If there is no one, so I can speak out of my mouth. But if you think like there is someone who is going to laugh at me, then I will. It's okay to speak with yourself in your mind, inside your mind, and you have to just speak in English, whatever you do. So these are some basic things that one can follow to think in English. And last but not least, that is try to consume English content. Means listen English podcast, listen English songs, audio books, whatever. Watching movies in English, web series in English. Because what I believe, our brain is just like a tank. Whatever we will feed inside our brain, so as soon as we open the tap of this tank, like the mouth, English will come out from our mouth,
Yeah,
right?
it is going to replicate the same thing.
Exactly. So we need to understand the power of bringing information from our subconscious mind, from our passive mind to active mind, our conscious mind. And that's only possible when we'll train our brain accordingly. As I have suggested some exercise that one has to go for to develop a habit of thinking English. That's all from my side.
Yes, I guess it really works when somebody is surrounded. Like you, the things you are talking, you are actually putting yourself in a English ambience, right? And
True.
if you are like 24 into 7 in such ambience or environment, you are going to automatically think in English, talk in English. Like the things happening with us, we are coming from Hindi world, but believe me, when we are talking to somebody, automatically words pop up from our mouth in English. I sometimes feel like why I was talking to them in English, the person is in Hindi, like Hindi world. But it is very obvious we are not doing it
Intentionally, but
knowingly,
it is
yeah,
happening.
intentionally. Yeah, it is
It is
happening.
happening subconsciously. Yes.
Yes,
True.
yes. Okay, so you mentioned about talking to like mirror talking and describing a picture, but I think people are having fear to speak. First of all, like fear in terms of, for example, I'm here, I don't know anything about English, but I want to learn it, the language. But right now, when I'm sitting here, now what to speak? Like you are saying the things which a like above base, above the bottom level person can start doing. But if somebody at the bottom level who does not know anything about English language, so how he's going to have the do things, because he's very fearful that how I'm going to do it, what I'm going to speak, I don't know a word, I don't know whether he might know, but things are not going in, coming from his head when he start talking.
Well, that's a very good question you have asked. And let me reply in this way. See, we all are Indians, and English is not our native language.
Yep.
We're not born with this language. So, whenever we start learning this language, we might make some mistakes somewhere here and there. And what I believe, we should not feel ashamed when we are making a mistake or we are fumbling, we are stucking, right? That's the first thing we have to keep in our mind. The second thing, we need to find one powerful reason, or we need to find the answer of why I want to learn this language. If I'm clear with my why, so that's fine. No matter how many mistakes I'm committing, I would ready to accept it and try to correct it by my own effort if it is possible. Otherwise, I will take help of someone else, right?
Yep.
Third thing, if someone is fearful to being enroll himself into all these exercises which I have explained earlier, what he can do, he can start from very basic. First, learn basic vocabularies about those, there, what, whose, where, how, okay? And start making sentences out of these basic vocabularies. At the same time, put those sentences into practical speaking. How are you? I'm doing great. How about you? I'm doing fantastic. Where are you from? I'm from this and this. In this way, either you can go for choosing a partner, okay, or he can do the same thing in front of mirror. That's totally fine. But he has to start from somewhere. Once he feel now he is okay with basic sentence formation and basic vocabularies, now this is a high time to step up his game. Now, beginner to intermediate level or intermediate level of vocab, intermediate level of sentence formation, and same intermediate level of conversation or speaking style, right? Then likewise switch to advanced level. See, learning the language is not a 2020 match that you can get a result at one night. Not
One
possible.
night. Yes. Yes.
Patience should be there. You have to wait
Yes.
for the result. And result itself is the outcome of your input. The more you practice, your right approach of practice, the right resource of practice, right time, right person, right place, and right way of practice will decide how much time will take in order to being fluent in this language. So these are some basic things that one has to keep in account, and everything will happen automatically.
Wonderful, wonderful. Like the articulation you are giving, it 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 works really on the ground level. It will work if somebody is implementing in their life, right? So that's all for today, I guess. So are you having any thought to discuss here?
Well, I do have one question for you if you are comfortable with that only. Am
Yeah,
I allowed to ask?
yeah, yeah, surely.
Okay, thank you. Well, from you, my question is as simple as a piece of cake. What do you think if a beginner will come to you and he wants to master this language? What could be your best strategies or tips and tricks you would follow to teach him English to that level where he would find himself an eloquent and impeccable speaker? From where you would start, and how would you give the climax to his English journey? Am I clear with my question?
Yeah, yeah, perfectly. It is more
Please go.
assiduous, like very peculiar, right? Okay, so I have to put like thoughts. You are talking of a beginner who does not know anything about English, or he's at intermediate or something.
Who
Who?
does not know anything about English? Like he's about to start his journey from zero, from scratches, from ground level.
Okay, so like if somebody of that level coming to us, we will be first of all giving him first instruction about some basic English, like he, she, it. First of all, after making him aware that in Hindi we call vah, in English we call he, she, it, like this. We'll going to give the basic of it, basic words, basic things that come, go, like this, basic things first of all. And after for like 30 days or 15, 20 to 30 days, this work is going to work, right? And after that, we are going to give him the tense first of all. Only tense, nothing else, nothing more than tenses, right? So that he will be able to make sentences, small sentences, that I go to market, I went with my friends, so that the basic expression will come into his head, right, with the help of tenses. And after he will be articulative, he can express his thoughts, we are going to take him to the one-on-one conversation as much as we can. When he will be comfortable for like talking to us for 10 minutes to 12 minutes, right, every day, or one 4 time or 5 times in a week, we will be asking him to start reading something, not more than 5 page, not more than 3 to 4 page, right? And when he will start reading, he will like see a lot of words, their vocabulary in the reading part, which he might not know the meaning. So he will be asking us the meaning, we'll be discussing that thing, and that's how the journey of English will be start from here. This is the scratch, this is the starting of English, right? And then we'll be turning him to the some advanced level of podcast, right? We'll be try to increase the pace. Right now the pace is around like 10 words a minute, 5 words a minute. But after like this initial 40-45 days we are going to ask him to increase the pace, means 20 to 25 words a minute. So to have 25, to capture the 25 words a minute, he have to listen some podcast, he have to talk to Shiv sir especially, right, to know the pace, right? So that's how the things will improve, I guess. I'll not.
Wow.
Yeah, I will
Yeah.
not ask him to I will not ask him to plunge into the grammar in the starting for sure, because he will be frustrated that I don't want to learn this language. I will be giving him very practical kind of knowledge. For example, a children of 6 months or 1 year, how he start talking. He does not sit and read the grammar in the starting. He initiate with just mama, papa, and talking about the stuff nearby him, right? So that's how this language can be learned. I feel this.
Wow, I'm totally flabbergasted and at the same time spellbounded the way you have elucidated every single aspect of the question which I've raised in front of you. You completely nailed it. Thanks
Yeah.
for giving your profound and intellectual insight about the topic I have given to you. I'm being overwhelmed. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm also the kind of cogent reasoning you are having for the language. I really appreciate that. It is really commendable, the kind of knowledge, the kind of expression you are having to learn this language, especially. I really appreciate the stuff, and that's all from my end.
Yeah, thanks for your compliment and means me a lot. You made my day. And I think for today we are done with our question and answers. So I think we have to wrap up this call. But yes, again, it was a really fruitful, colorful, constructive conversation with you. I've enjoyed a lot. I hope hopefully you as well.
Yeah,
So some other day we'll talk about some other aspect of this language. So thank
for
you for
sure.
connecting with me and giving your precious time.
Okay, thank you. Honors is mine. Thank you. Thank you for having me. Goodbye.
Bye. Take care.